Thank you. Today our guest is Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN, MD, Senior Research Fellow, CCRH. She is the Associate Editor of the Heritage Homeopathy Journal, awarded with MD Quality Dissertation by CCRH New Delhi, Assistant Editor, the Hanuman Homeopathy Sandesh, Secretary, IHMA Delhi Chapter. He is the founder of Vigyan School, Delhi. He has been awarded with Young Research in 2022 and Homeopathy Gaurav Samman 2023. Discussion is there, and the topic is navigating the OPHIDA group in homeopathy. It's a very nice topic, and a lot of medicines are there. They are effective in a lot of clinical conditions as well. In fact, the Dr. Farrington is the person who started this type of study. If So on behalf of Ifph, I welcome Dr. NIHARIKA. You can have the platform for the next 45 minutes or two. Our guest is just joined. Yes, Dr. NIHARIKA, you can have the platform.
Asiya just joined, I think.
Yes. This is excellent. Nobody can believe that our session is very accurate. At 8 o'clock, it is 8 o'clock. It will stop at 10 o'clock. No,
Dr.
Manoj.
Yes,
Niharika
ji has joined now. So
yes,
you can make up the course now.
Yeah. It's already host. Dr. NIHARIKA, you have already completed the formalities. A warm welcome and please proceed.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
अभी क्या कैसा है?
अभी तो वही कमजोरी है बहुत होती है
बुखार नहीं ना आ रहा है?
बुखार भी है
निकल गए तो उसके बाद दवा करेंगे अभी कुछ करने का जरूरत नहीं.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So now we can start today's topic. As we all know, this is the navigating the OPHIDA group in homeopathy. So everybody knows that we have so many medicines which we made with the OPHIDA group. So how we can understand this core feeling in the human understanding, because they are animal. But when they represent in our clinic, in our OPD, how we can understand their expression, how they talking, how they came our clinic, how they behave, what is the cope-up mechanism. So in today's lecture, we all understanding how the OPHIDA group working in homeopathy. So the animal feature. Before start the OPHIDA, you should understand what is the animal feature. Because OPHIDA is a subgroup, but we start with the animal feature. So the first and very most important, the animal's life, the issue of survival. How they survive, the survival of the fittest. So they have struggle for their survival, and they have made their environment according to their conditions. This is the survival, and whatever environment you have provided them, they have to adopt it. They have become like this and they start to survive. So there is an issue with survival, and this is like the highest issue, how they can survive. So whatever they want to do for their survival, they have to do it. And what is the main feature of the animal kingdom? So there is like a victim and aggressor, prey and predator, high and low, strong versus the weak, dominating person and dominated person, and the main issue, me versus you. So in homeopathy, we have many of sorts where we find our remedy, homeopathic remedy, like plant kingdom, mineral kingdom. So one of the animal kingdom also is there. If you go through the animal kingdom, you clearly understood they have issue with me versus you. They have issue with someone. They have issue with somebody else. Maybe they are in office, they have issue with the boss. They have issue with their superior officer. If they are in the home, they have issue with the mother, sister, brother. It can be anyone. But whenever they have start their conversation in your OPD, and when they came into our patient clinic, they start conversation with somebody else. The person is problematic for me. My boss is so aggressive. My mother-in-law is not good. So they have issue with someone else. If you compare it with the plant kingdom, they have sensitivity and reactivity. They are too much sensitive. When they are sensitive, they have give reactions. If you take an example of Staphysagra, you clearly understood that when you are just scold the child in the school, when child is returned from the school and back to home, maybe child get fever. So this is the sensitivity. And after reproachment, and after they getting the fever, this is the reactivity. So this is the plant. In the same you understood in the Ophidia group, but first you know the animal kingdom, they have issue with the someone else. So me versus you. And if you take the example in the mineral kingdom, they have problem with their structure. Because the whole mineral kingdom depend on the periodic table. And they want their orbit should be completed. They want their atoms. That's why they have some connection. So they want the structure. So you have differentiate the kingdom according to their patient conversation, patient dreams, patient handwriting, patient issues, patient event, and how they cope up in their life. Whenever the situation is came in our life, maybe 3% is there, and any situation will come in the 3% having different mechanism because they have different kingdom. So if you understood, so there is an issue with the like competitions, comparison, strong, weak, fast and slow. And they have more sexuality. The whole animal kingdom having more sexuality, attractiveness. They want to attract the other people. When they start their talking, their conversation is so beautiful, so sweetie, like sweet tongue. They want to attract the people. And they want attention. Because they want spotlight. So they want attention also. Camouflage. So the person is like, they have an animal color and shape match its surrounding. So it's make very difficult to spotted one. This is the camouflage. They have adopted this environment. They adopt their color. They adopt their shape. So you have to find very difficulty in spotting to them. They like colors. And they always like very bright colors and dull color also. Because the every remedy having polarity. If they having high, they having low. The same every remedy in every kingdom having polarity. If they like bright color, the same person is maybe like the dull color also. They love to music, dancing. So the bright color is always attractive for attention. And opposite, exactly if you see the opposite sensation, so they also like a dull color. So in your patient, you have to make difference. How you can difference? If you learn only that they like bright color, it is not okay. You also learn the passive reaction. Because every homeopathic medicine having active reaction as if the passive reaction. So you know, you ask the what color you like. Maybe they are belongs to animal kingdom. They always say bright color. And when they came in your clinic also wearing the bright color, their mobile cover also very bright. Their hair having some color also because they want attention. Maybe the parties, if you're inviting the Indian culture, everybody is late for the party. But the people belongs to the animal kingdom, maybe going late because they want attention. Oh, I'm coming. They want to become a spotlight of this party. So this is the difference. So there is a me versus you fight to finish. They want kill the people. They want like, I just want to finish them. And they have competition. Because of issue of survival, they have much more competition inside because they want their survival. How I can survive? Sometimes environment is also opposite, but they want to survive, so they become competitive to their group also. So in human expression, they have more talking like, I'm stronger than you, I'm weaker than you. And sometimes they like, I will kill you. And they have talking, who wins? Who lose? Who survive? And he after me. So this is, if you notice, this is in your friends also, in your colleague also, this is the daily conversation. You can just extract their kingdom, how they talk, how they just perceive their situation, how they act in their situation. You can just perceive their kingdom. Because sometimes if you belongs to your kingdom, you have core inside. So many of talking, you just think, if the sulfur, it belongs to mineral kingdom. But sometimes he say, I want to cut this part because it's paining. If you go through the rubrics, you can find in the sulfur. But sulfur is not a animal kingdom, it's a mineral. But you don't want to bearing the pain. So you understood the talk also, as well as you have to know this kingdom classification. After you have to match with your materia medica and go through the repertory, then you give the medicine to your patient. But it is very important to know kingdom, because you can just picked up, and you can think out of box. Okay, my patient is dealing this situation and many situation in the life, but every time his and her expression will be same. There is no talking like I kill them. But in the small fight, maybe an animal person is like, I just kill them. I will kill you. And they always talking about the competition. Today I will see in the match who wins, who lose. Okay, if you do fight with me, and the last, I want to say who survive, you and me. They having this kind of expression. And if you are further exploring the animal issue, and you can see the two-sided, one inside and one outside. Maybe inside is bad and outside is very good. So you understood this is very clearly, the person belongs to the animal kingdom, they two-sided person. Inside they are very bad intention, they keep very bad intention, but in front of you and in front of other, they are behaving very good person. They are behaving like angels, but inside they are devil. They don't want you succeed in your result or your examination, but inside they have intention. But when outside they behaving like they help you, they are like, oh, I am also thinking about your exam is very near, you give attention to your study. But inside they have very bad intention. Oh, I make some noises, I do something, he disturbed, I posted something bad in the social media, so my friend is going to disturb. Maybe he think in the whole night, oh, how my friend do like this. So they make some planning also, because they have bad intention. Now we start with the OPHIDA cases. How you can see OPHIDA cases core feeling. What is the issue they have in their life? So we start with the issue of survival. The same they have, because they are animal. So they can be deceitful, malicious, and aggressive. So maybe they not tell the things they are proper. Maybe they are not tell the things they are true. So they are very deceitful. They are very malicious. They are very aggressive. Maybe ready for fight, ready for arguments. So they kill me, they cut me, they bite me off, tear me apart. So when they start their talking in the case taking, you have to observe their talking, how they talk. Maybe moreover, the person belongs to the animal kingdom, they have in the more talking 80%, like I kill them, I cut it this, I bite. And sometimes they have more expressive, and they have just put the expression in the 6th level also, because they're like, I bite him, I kill them. They have like chewing the teeth, and they making the expression with the hands also. So you understood, oh, how the patient giving the core feeling. Because sepia is also belongs to the animal kingdom, but it's from like a different subgroup, mollusk. So the mollusk having the feeling of like some core. So if you are, or when the person did with you wrong, how you behave, maybe sepia person is the telling a core feeling, I just go inside, I just lock my room, and I want alone. So sometimes they're making this expression with my hand, what I make to you in front of you. So this is the core feeling of CPR also. So you have to explore and make observation very sharp with your patients. Victim and aggressor. Feel victimized by the people. People are doing this with me. Illness is doing with me. If my leg is paining, the person is thinking only leg pain. I have only this leg pain. And this leg pain is creating problem for me. I'm not able to go my office. If I take my leave, how I can survive? This is a problem with this. My maybe colleague going to competition, they doing more work. Maybe they said to the boss something about me. They have suspicious also because they feel victimized because of disease also. Hierarchy, superior, inferior. They are above to me. They are dominating to me, overpower me. Sexuality and attractiveness. So they are our need to attract attention. And these personality are attractive in their behavior and appearance. So they are wearing very bright colors. They are wearing very kind of shiny clothes also. They are very fashionable person because fashion is always change. So they are as like so the pickle person. They also can change. You can't relay them. And sometimes they are feeling dirty about themselves also. Competition is the key of survival in the animal world. They having a split personality. Like they feel I have two-sided, the animal side and the human side. So the way they feel about themselves is often their expression by human. Humans are so cruel. Sometimes they are talking like this. Because how they express their human expression, because they are humans. But they have trait, they have core feeling of animal kingdom. So sometimes they express like the humans are doing very cruel things. Sometimes they are beating with the dogs also. I feel pain. This is also the one of the belongs to the our world, like animal world. I feel spittle up. I jump at them. I'm not good enough because of competition. Sometimes they are feeling I am not good enough, and then how I survive? I'm not enough beautiful. I look like ugly. So sometimes they are giving connection with the source. Fear, fascinating, aversion with the animal. So if you ask to your patient about the animal, sometimes they are saying, I have aversion with the animal. I don't like cat. I don't like dog. This is also the one of the connection with the source. So you just think twice and note down this point and make it clear with your patient. Jealousy. And sometimes because of survival and animals also belongs their group, so they also feel need to belongs their group, needs to belong group. How to know sub kingdom? So the exit modus operandi, habit of working. Because if you don't know how the core, how the person and how the source is working, how you prescribe the medicine. So the method of attack, the method of defense. So now we start with the characteristic of the snake. So characteristic feature of the snake is the limblessness. They don't have limbs. They don't have upper limbs and lower limbs. They have poisonous gland, modified salivary and parotid gland, and they have provide defense against the predator like pneumotoxics, neurotoxics, psychotoxics, myrotoxics, because their venom working on our muscles, our nervous systems, or our hemolytic system. So they have working on this. So you know how they are. And other specific feature is like they have jaw very flexible and wide gap. They have chemosensory organ, Jacobson organ. They have fork the tongue which senses the particle in the air. And they can sense the vibration from the ground. Sensitivity is the throat level. So everybody know the patient Ophidia group medicine, moreover medicine having the sensitivity in the throat level because they feel constrictions. They don't wear the tie. They don't wear the tight clothing also. If you see the mode of attack in your home also, when the child playing with each other, if the belongs to the animal kingdom or Ophidia group, sometimes child also hold the neck of the person every time. Oh, as don't do like this. This is also a feature because this sensitivity, they want their neck having sensitivity, so they want to hold this neck. Neck defense, run and escape. The first line defense of the snake, they run and escape. First line defense. Few defensive methods are more specific, like squirting stream to blood streams. It's like adopting posture, like spreading the hood. So you can see in the normal snake also, because of defense, this first is spreading their hoods, the S curve, the hissing. So if you see your patient also, sometimes your patient is complaining, when I have much anger, I just like hissing my voice. He's my boss, so I'm not able to take very loudly, but I just hissing my voice. So they have given some warning with the voice hissing. And they have mimetic behavior. They have mimic misdirections. They having many of misdirection. If you live with the animal friends, you know they always misguide you. Sometimes you ask the road also, if sometimes you ask the map also, they misguide you because they having poor feeling. And dry run. Constructions. They are really heavily steel and surprise. So they are like behaving like actions. Surprise. How you can surprise? Because their action, their movement is very quiet, very secretive. You don't know what is the next step. So they are heavily rely on this. If I want to take any, if my friend doing this with me wrong, it is okay. If I give the same slap in front of others, of my friend, I just choose the date. I make planning. I make plotting. I just make surprise. They have two main strategy: sit and wait, and they are active hunters. Now, human expressions. So, feeling defenseless at the disadvantage, vulnerable to attack. They have 2P, the planning and plotting. They have very strong planning. How I catch this person? This person insulted to me last 23rd November 2023 in front of my other friends. It is okay. That time I bear it. The next year, 23rd of November 2024, with the same friends in the same party, I also do same with him. But this is like planning. They wait for their chance. How I just make, how I attack. So this is like, they are making very secretive plan, scheming, violence, cruelty, torture, unfeelingness. They don't have any feeling. Sometimes it's happen our daily life also. We have talking many peoples. We are using social media also, Instagram, Facebook. Many of things you are observing. They are many of people doing like today the animal kingdom's habits. Unfeelingness. They don't have any feeling for mother also. They don't have feeling for the patients also. They don't have feeling for their husband, wife also, because there is like unfeelingness. Okay, it is happened. They are more practical. So in society where one can see the snake-like survival strategy like mafia, underworld, terrorism, undercovers people, crime, blackmail, politics, corporate worlds, glamour, magicians, fraud, position of power, kidnapping, commando, this kind of people in mainly belongs to the animal kingdoms. Now we start the remedy Bungarus. So the great highly venomous snake about the 15 to 16 times more poisonous than the common cobra. It is the most lethal. And type of Bungarus, there is a two type. Bungarus calculus is the common carrot, or Bungarus fasciatus is the vended carrot. So what is the behavioral attributes of this Bungarus? This is the poison very highly venoms. Carrot is very shy and peaceful. Their venom is highly poisonous. So in the human expression, you can understand how the people working. Maybe they are very poisonous people in their life, but they are very shy and peaceful kind of person also. They are not easily provoked and bite. If they are backset, they definitely bite you. So they are not easily provoked. So if you take example, if your friend or boss also, sometimes we are talking normal conversation. My boss is very normal person, very cool and calm. But if we did a very small thing wrong, now he's like just bust up. So you understood. If you are just backs or anger this person, maybe they are provoked. Snake handler mentioned that except at the night, they are easiest to be assisted. Night is very difficult, otherwise they are very easiest to handle. Even at night when they are active, they try to avoid human contact as far as possible. They are not coming in the human contact as far as possible. So in Bangeras individual, they are very open, unrefined and frank. Despite of this openness, they are not fickle-minded. They are quiet and sharp. If your best friend suddenly decide that she does not like you 1 week, and then the next week she want to hang out again, she's being fickle because you can't rely on them. They belongs to the OPHIDA group. You can't rely on them. We may have changing behavior also. They are very fickle person. They are very open person. But the Bangeras individuality, they are unrefined and very frank kind of person. Clinically verification, these drugs are neurotoxic and have very good action on the central nervous system. And especially it causes infantile paralysis and the poliomyelitis. So we can use in this case also. So nucleus of this remedy, the infantile paralysis, acute polioencephalitis and poliomyelitis, persistent dreams of black and white banded snake. If you ask your patient about the dream, sometimes patient belongs to the core dream. And they have defined the dream very beautifully. I see one snake and the snake having band white and black also. Sometimes patient is narrating white and yellow also, and sometimes black and yellow also. If you see the picture of this, the same picture they are giving. So you can just note it down. This is very important point because he's unconsciously patient is giving. There may be the patient having core feeling of this. Activity time, especially carrots are active at night, natural in habit and relatively passive during a day. If bite a snake, then patient, what complaint patient is have? Acute abdominal pain, altered level of consciousness, sinking feeling, drowsiness, diplopia, dysphagia, dyspnea, blurring of the visions. Now we start the elapse. So the rat on black, friend to Jack, rat on yellow, kill a fellow. Clearly understood. So they are fairly meek snake unless disturbed. They are not disturbed to. If you are not disturbed them, they are not disturbed to you also. When bothered, the coral snakes often rattle flat the elevated tail. First, if you are bothered, the snakes having defense mechanism. So first they start flatten the elevated tail and emit a popping sound and its bent lining. It's a sign of warning to enemies. The snake is the hibernate during a winter time, typically around the November, and comes out at the start of the summer. So the first we have read, this is have the more active at night. Now it is a more active in a sunny days or maybe start in a summers. They are normally active temperature between the 55 to 85. They are active during a hot sunny days. Or high altitude, they are active during a day as a night are too cold. And when the temperatures are not too cold, they can be nocturnal and diurnal. On extremely hot, they are mainly active at night. But especially the patient having complaint, maybe just say about, I have more complaint and my complaint aggravated in the during a hot sunny days. So you have to note it down. You not just fit the remedy. This patient is a lapse or patient is the Vangera. So you just listen to your patient is like a picture. In the last, we have to just think of how the patient is taking a track, which kingdom patient is belongs, which match this patient is belong. The whole totality after we can describe to our patient. So miasm, if you see the tubercular to syphilitic miasm, the fear of rain. The labs, they having fear of rain. The patient are unsocial, aversion to company. They have desire for sweetened buttermilk, salads, orange. Mostly they having discharges black in color. Coldness in the part. If you touch the patient part, they have cold to touch. And is going to happen. Or delusion of falling into a pit or up to abscess. It is like the patient having, I'm just falling, something is very deep hole. This hole having no end and I'm just going inside. So you ask to your patient is about the dream also. And sometimes patient is explained, I don't know, but I have this fear something terrible is going to happen. So this is, we can think of it. Right-sided affections mainly, and craving sweetened buttermilk, meat, sour creams, and oranges. Aversion to is also oranges and bananas. Thirst, intense thirst with coldness in the chest. Urine, strangery, thick urine with a red sediment. The stool is like loose, blackish, yellowish, but watery with. The patient may be complained with angina, dysmenorrhea, esophageal spasm, hemorrhagic, peptic ulcer, and sinusitis. Sometimes we are thinking of, oh, we don't know we homeopathic medicine having or not for the peptic ulcer, but you don't just think about. In the peptic ulcer, you can think. And the sinusitis, you also can think. In the palladium and ellipse having some similarity. So the palladium belongs to the mineral kingdom. So the desire to have good opinion of others. Ellipse is also seeking for a good opinion of others. So palladium people feel neglected if others do not have a good opinion about them. Hence, they even go out of their way to do things and please the opposite person. And if the elapsed person have to maintain their good opinion or else might lose their position in the society. So this is the major difference. Both are seeking for good opinion of others. But the palladium person has to even go out of their way to do the things and please do the person because they want good opinion from other. They having flattery desire. They are longing for good opinions. This is the core feeling of palladium. But in the elapse, if they want good opinion, they maintain their position. But if they are not maintain their position, they lose the position in the society. So you can just understood the both remedies. Naja. So the Naja king cobra cannot hear. So because of absence of the external ear, but they can hear the sound that travel from their skin to jaw wall. That's why we starting in the characteristic of the snake, we understood that we have the jaw have wide gap because they have sense to the perceive environment, sense to perceive in the ground. The same with the Naja, he travel the sound from skin to the jawbone and they can also sense the surrounding by picking up vibration through the skin. Their bifurcate tongue gather the smell from the environment to detect a nearby prey item while they are hunt. Generally, cobra prefer the warm climate, so are active during a daytime. Sign and symptoms after develop a white of cobra. So this is the small stretch mark at the side of stunning. Tissue beneath the wound having become purple, dark purple in color. Maybe the whiting place or whiting side have a large quantity of the viscous blood-like fluid collected. Intense burning are there. And in about hour's time, intoxicated and stupefied. A loss of strength in a limb as well as all inspector leading a involuntary urine and stools. So you have to understand this is also very important, how this poison work, how patient bring their symptoms. Unable to speak and swallow from paralysis of the tongue and larynx, excessive salivation and vomiting, general deterioration and so slow respirations, difficulty in breathing with the immense cardiac distress. Finally, victim develop angina, valvular troubles, cardiac hypertrophy that eventually lead to the death. So everyone knows NASA is very good remedy for the cardiac hypertrophy with the valvular troubles. And throughout the action of this venom, the bitten person is conscious and suffering from the excruciating headache that particularly felt in the forehead and the temples. This match belongs to the tuberculin and syphilitic, predominantly left-sided remedy. It is like elements from grief, antagonism of the will, anxiety. If you understand the chief highlight, so there is a high sense of duty and the duality, brooding over the imaginary troubles, cardiac affections, excruciating headache as a concomitant to every complaint. Headache better in open air and bursts from overheating and mental exhaustion and being in a warm room. So this is very common complaint. Maybe patient brings so many times to you and we are thinking sometime belladonna, sometime pulsatilla, but you just think out of box and just make all the totality and ask to your patient how you can manage your all situation in your life. You tell about your events, you tell about the situation, then you know how patient is cope up with their life situation, how they are managed. So you understood. Good remedy for the hay fever with the incessant sneezing, dryness in ear passes, running of nose and persistent dry hacking cough. Useful in the spasmodic dysmenorrhea with severe constricting pain during your menses. Pain from left ovary to heart. This is very PQRS symptom of this nausea. The pain from left ovary to heart. Produce neuralgics and the paralysis but not much hemorrhage. Appetite, loss of appetite, craving for wine stimulants, thirstlessness with dry tongue. Urine deposit the red sediment mixed with the mucus. And stool is the bilious diarrhea alternative with the constipation. And gripping type of pain in the abdomen. If the perspiration is lumbar region and ankle. And profuse cold clammy perspiration. In the menses, patient is always complaining the patient pain is radiating to left ovary to the heart. Worse 1 week before menses till the onset of the menses. So clinical condition, angina, arrhythmia, asthma, congestive heart failure, endocarditis, headache, migraine, ovarian cyst and hypertension. If you understand the comparison, there is a similarity between the nausea and aurum mat. So the both having a strong sense of duty, self-reproachment, feeling as if neglected, think that one does everything is wrong, I'm doing wrong, and utter the worthlessness, I'm worthless, I'm useless. So this is the both similarity having nausea and the aurum. If you know the prescriptive totality, there is a strong sense of duty, sense of duality, delusion, she has neglected her duty, fear of rain, all complaint of nausea settle in the heart, excruciating headache and left-sided affections. So we already said this is a kind of differentiation between the nausea and aurum. But one thing you understood, in the aurum mat, they don't have a split personality. They don't have two-sided. Because nausea belongs to the animal kingdom, they having two-sided personality. One is bad and inside is a bad and other outer is a beautiful. But aurum mat belongs to the mineral kingdom. They don't have this kind of personality. And nausea always feeling of suffered wrong is very strong. I'm just suffered wrong. Bothrops. So this is the venum bothrop is like inducing our body and causing it influencing is mainly working on our hemolytic system. They are giving like a hard and arrhythmic local edema, then later turn the hemorrhagic. So this is like a descriptive. We have to cover remedy. Coagulative, anticoagulative action due to the effect of factor of the coagulation. So in this remedy, both of you understood the coagulative effect in this remedy. And this effect seen in the from general bleeding, the form of hematuria, epistaxis, bleeding from the guts, rectum, and hemorrhagic activity resulting a local ecchymosis, petechi, and the bleeding from the orifice of the white and also some general clinical manifestation. This blood oozing out is black or rusty looking and very fluid. Few hours to manage it after the bite. When the snake is bite and after it's maybe take a few minutes to the few hours. Mainly on the skin, it petechi, purple spots, ecchymosis, conjunctival hemorrhage. Gums hemorrhage, which could indicate a systemic hemorrhage. Nose and epistaxis. And abdomen, they have abdominal muscles. They may be gastrointestinal of the gastrointestinal and the rectoperitoneal hemorrhage. Tubercular to syphilis. Side is affection right-sided, migraine hemiplegia. Cross-wise diagonal course of symptom. Left upper, right lower, left lower, right upper. Now there is a comparison with the sickle core and bothrops. So the both having bleeding remedy, both having hemorrhagic remedy, but the bleeding is bright red or maybe dark in black is sickle core. And here also the dark black and rusty colored. Blood tend to the coagulative give rise to ropey, tenacious. But in the bothrop, blood does not coagulate. So this is the difference. Blood flow passively and there is a passive oozing. But in the bothrops, blood flow exerts at a least movement. This is very important. In sickle core, the gangrenous deep and rapid, and the bothrop is a deciding kind of lay on the bone worry. Concomitant the icy coldness of the extremities. It is indicated for the spastic paraplegia and indicated for the right-sided hemiplegia. Should be used in the paralysis due to the poliomyelitis and should be used in the paralysis due to the thrombosis and the embolism. Aphasia from the paralysis of larynx. Paralysis predominantly organ like rectum, and here also paralysis predominant nerves like a ectopic nerve blindness. Right-sided, crosswise affection, hemorrhage, and right-sided. This is the synchris. This is the fear of sudden death, fear of persecution, elements from sexual harassment. This is point you have to think. When you take your patient past history, sometime you can see in the girls and the women, they having very bad sexual harassment history. So you can think of it. The elements from sexual harassments. And they having fear of rape. They having dream of rape. They having very amorous dream. Lascivious dreams, frightful, vivid, horrible. And especially in a waking hours. Aversion to domestic work. Right-sided complaint. In the same case, in the lachesis, the most symptom in the right-sided, most symptom are left-sided in the lachesis. Difficult empty swallowing with easy swallowing solid and liquid. But in the lachesis, difficulty in swallowing liquid, but can swallow solid easily. This is the difference. And withdrawn type, not very going or expressive, but in the lachesis, they are very open and expressive character and very outgoing characters. Crotalus cascavella in the loquacity, jealousy, suspicious, intolerance to tight clothing. I think I have time. Yes. So now we can cover. In the Crotalus cascavella, there is like feel as if they are under influence of somebody. In the Crotalus are under influence of somebody, but in the they are under superhuman power. Hear voices which tend to fall out of fear. They are murders. Clairvoyance, both remedy having Protocollus cascabella and lachesis. About bad things, they are going to take place and predict the future of correctly. The Crotalus cascabella is the right side remedy, the lachesis is the left sided remedy. Now is the lachesis is the bushmaster, one of the largest venomous snake in the Western Hemisphere and the longest viper in the world. So effect of the white by the lachesis are nausea, vomiting, abdominal cold, diarrhea, sweating, some origin. Other side is bushmaster and venom are explained by hemorrhagic venom activities. So it's having the action on the hemorrhagic remedy kind of. Its action on the nervous system is not great. No individual group of nerve vessel appear to be picked up. The effect upon the respiration is not direct. In the case of lachesis, if you see the patient, you have to clearly understood the lachesis is not working very good on the upper nervous system as well as in the respiration. Lachesis is having psychotic, tubercular, syphilitic, and sura. All the miasm. This is the lap-sided remedy, but initially the complaint began to the lap side, then travel to the right sided. Elements from injury, punctured wound, and sprain. If you see the part, affected part is the blueness of part, suppressed discharges, alcohol, sun, grief in the fright, the patient having many years of grief, maybe patient having fight with someone, and vexation, anger, jealousy, disappointment of love. So you just remove to your mind, there is many remedy of the disappointment of love, like hyoscyamus or natromure. The now one more is lachesis also. So you can think of out of box. So not only natromure, sometimes different is also there. Masturbation is also one of the elements from lachesis. Never well since from the climaxes. Chief highlights is the jealousy, suspicion, loquacity, religious, malice, manipulative person, and aggravation from sleep, lap-sided. So if you see the prescribed totality, you can see some point important symptom. The lap-sided, general from aggravation from sleep, patient having jealousy or competition, loquacity, patient having clairvoyance, directly predict the future, and patient having ambulation from discharges, humorous tendency, never well from climacterics, and religious. Dreams of snakes and dreams of her own death, dreams of funerals. This is very common. Sometimes to your patient giving this kind of dreams of funerals. You can think of lachesis. And it is not mentioned here. The lachesis patient is more commonly see what I observe in my clinical practice. The patient having dream of temples because they are religious. Especially in the Indian culture, we have to like treating like God for this snakes. So they having some feeling also. So sometimes they are seeing temples. Bluish purplish appearance of affected part. Constriction sensation, especially in the throat. Cannot wear even slightest touch to the affected part and hot patient. Friends, there is a hyoscyamus in the lachesis. So jealousy and suspicion arise out of the fear of losing loved ones on whom they are dependent. It's the hyoscyamus feeling. They are just lose the people because they are dependent on them. That's why the hyoscyamus patient is starting to jealousy and suspicious to other. But in the lachesis, the jealousy and suspicious is came out of competitiveness and 2 to 1 up. Me versus you. Issue of survival, issue of fittest. So comparison, if you see the jealousy and suspicion by both of the nature, the both remedy having, but in their context of attention, these people tend to loud, loquacious, lascivious in their behavior and talk. So thank you so much. I have completed my talk. If you
Yes.
want to give any feedback, you can write to me, drniharikazen@gmail.com. And thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for this great opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. NIHARIKA. Wonderful presentations. Time for discussion. Those who would like to participate, please raise your hand. You mentioned in a nutshell comparison of 7 medicines in tandem, one after another. The Bangarasone, then the elapse. The most interesting thing is that in compare with some other medicines, the palladium and elapse. Just like another one is Oramet and Naja, Ezekiel core Bothrops. Well, these are having some practical utility, definitely. Also, this kind of study is very useful. If there are a lot of patients are there, and the physician has to reach a medicine there list. So definitely, by generalizing such cases, you will reach that point. Then another important thing you mentioned about this issue of survival. We all know that the writing of Hahnemann, he mentioned human being is the most unprotected species in the world. Don't have such equipments to withstand the struggles or the challenges of nature. They need more protection. The least protected species in the world. That's the reference made by Hahnemann. Yeah, all the way is a nice presentation. If anybody would like to ask something or to add something, definitely you can ask to Dr. NIHARIKA. Post-graduation, then PhD, doing a lot of work, then editor of 2 or 3 journals. Lot of intellectual interactions or activities he is doing. But what about the hospital facilities you have there? Dr. NIHARIKA, am I audible? Unfortunately, it is some
Pardon?
What about your hospital facilities, OP, IP facilities there in Delhi?
Sir, in Delhi, OPD, IPDs?
Yes. The collegiate hospitals and other institutions.
CCRS, sir?
In your institution,
Sir, I am not.
what about the OP, number of patients in OP and IP? Any statistics?
Actually,
there?
sir, in the CCRH, if I'm writing, you are asking about my institute like CCRH, New Delhi?
Yeah.
Sir, there is no directly OPD and IPD. There is a many 32 regional branches are there, na? So they are treating patient. They have held a camp also. They are conducting regular OPDs, and they are just sending the data. We have compiled all those data, and where we making a protocol and how we can do it. The research, writing up publications we are doing here. So there is a no OPD, directly no OPD and IPD. Sir, I am doing my personal practice in the evening.
Yeah. Okay. What about the situation all over India? This Central Council Homoeopathy research. Do you have any statistics regarding the OP or IP?
Yes, sir. Actually, I joined in the 2023 June. So I just completed my MD and after this I joined. So this is not a statistician. They hire a different statistician. They are doing the course. We are writing paper and we understood the importance of our clinical cases. If you are just seeing you are not collected your data, how we can prove it? Because now the time is come evidence-based homeopathy. So definitely is the clinician is also important. You have collect your all those data in the one place, gathered, definitely you published because the people learn also, and it's make a homeopathy very strong. Because sometimes voice is not enough to raise to give another country or another people. Writing maybe live many years. So what I importance understand from the data key, if I'm the personal private practitioner, it is okay. But for collect our data, and definitely in homeopathy, we can convert the quantification. Because nowadays quantification is very important. Because everybody wants the evidence, what you are doing. They are just thinking homeopathy is not working. But I know how homeopathy is working.
Anyway, these statistics are also very important to get credibility among in a situation like India. 1,000,
Yeah.
Then 40 people.
We need
four
to
papers were
quantify
there.
our results, sir.
Yes. Dr. Ram Barvesa, what
Because
is
if you are
yes, you can unmute now. How do you comment on this class by Dr.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj ji, or congratulations, Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN. Very nice presentation, excellent session, beautiful described OPHIDA group of medicine. Differential, similarity, palladium, elapse, and naja, auromate, canceries, lacacies, crotus, lacacies, effect of OPHIDA group medicine. Very nice presentation, beautiful described. Thank you, Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN.
thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so much, sir,
Thank
for your kind word.
yes. You mentioned about this auromat. and-
Kindly share mobile number.
Yes,
Sure, sir.
please put it in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Paul Joseph, are you there? Dr. Paul Joseph,
Yes, sir.
8770107214, Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN. I hope
sir.
you got. Ram
And
Pravesh,
sir, really thank you so much to MK Sahani and to you also. You are giving this platform and I am sharing my little bit knowledge. And I feel very grateful for this.
definitely this platform is doing a great work for the last 1309 days. Continuous, uninterrupted, and for the last 1 year in Hindi, English, and Malayalam, 3 sessions are there in tandem, no interruption. Fortunately, and it is still going, and definitely a lot of practitioners are benefited by getting this much information without much struggle. They can sit in their home, work at home, that is a study at home, that is then connecting a lot of persons in different parts of the world. There's also a great work done by this platform, Ifph, International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Dr. Ram Parvesha, how do you rate that? The work done by this platform, Ifph.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN. Beautiful described and dynamic lecture. During a speech, during presentation, a stylish presentation. Behalf of IFPH, very thanks. And again, presentation, Hindi session and English session. Thank you.
Yes, definitely we must
So definitely, I'm also looking like an animal kingdom because when you are not become, how you explain to the person how they are mimic. I don't know which kingdom I am, but sometimes you are mimic in your presentation also, how they are behaving.
Okay. Dr. Neha, are you there to express vote of thanks to Dr. NIHARIKA? Dr. Neha,
Yes, sir.
please.
Yes, sir. Yeah, a very wonderful session by Dr. NIHARIKA JAIN. She explained very beautifully the different aspects of different, the original origin of different medicines from the different variety of snakes we have in the animal kingdom. And she also highlighted the points of differentiation very well in the webinar today. It was a pleasure to hear her, and I have met her also at the All India Congress held at Delhi recently. So it was a nice session with Dr. NIHARIKA, where she shared her wonderful knowledge about the OPHIDA group. We would like to have her again with different topics in the future. Thank you, Dr. NIHARIKA, so much for
Thank you so much,
enlightening
ma'am,
us with the
and
knowledge.
nice to
Yeah.
see you. Thank you so
Yes.
much for your work and nice to see you again.
Yeah, same here.
We are
Yes.
all expecting your participation, not only present in terms of presentation, but also must regularly participate, because the very senior doctors and highly qualified persons are always communicating with each other. So that will also further enhance your knowledge in homeopathy. That will provide more substantial support to the suffering humanity. The remark, let me conclude today's English edition. Hope you that we'll meet again tomorrow. Till then, goodbye, and Dr. Shaila to continue the program in Malayalam.
Yes.